Hello, my friends, my family, and my fans. I'm Andrew Ditch. I have been diagnosed with autism and intellectual disability. Today's video here is needs and rights to disabled people and how to tell the difference between behaviors responses of defiance and non-compliance versus unmet needs and abuse. A bit of personal lived experience. I'm going to focus on the things that some people think I fake my disability with which I am diagnosed. Some of these symptoms that few doctors feel I exaggerate or mimic to be disabled are incontinence, poor hygiene, using a star globe, carry a teddy bear, and seeking comfort or sympathy from others. One minute I talk like I am a meteorologist, a lawyer, a mental health professional, or other college professor, then the next minute I sound as if I am a baby or simple-minded. Because I am disabled and not faking something, I get extremely upset when doctors deny me the care I need because I do not understand what to say. An example of this would be when Adult Protective Services sends me to the hospital to get placement. I bring my accommodations, assessments, and current medical information with me to get assistance and support while in the hospital. I use AAC to assist me, so I do not have behavior or emotional issues. I am able to ask for a diaper and help with my hygiene to my nurse. The nurses ignore me and refuse to assist me. I can repeat my medications from my med list and why my doctors order them. I am unable to plan, organize, or use time management to take my medications properly. I can repeat why I use AAC or the information my doctors say, but unable to use the information. I'm told in a hospital they must help me and give me medication and accommodation. They must provide me with a safe discharge. I go to a hospital expecting services for medical, personal care, social care, basic needs, and behavior issues, and I am denied. I know a hospital can't do this. I know the trigger by the expectations, not understanding why I am denied the help and my sensory issues. I have a button on my AAC app programmed by my speech therapist to help me with accommodations. I have a label on my tablet for accommodations. I have speech reports on my tablet home screen. I bring in a paper copy of this to show why I use AAC. I know a hospital can't deny me accommodation. The purpose of the accommodation is to help me, so I don't have behavior issues. I cannot get the care and assistance I need in the hospital that they are required to provide people like me. I get very frustrated as I bring the information to support my diagnosis and care I need, and they discriminate against me by refusing to help me, and they help other people with similar disabilities and not me. The reason for this is because the hospitals feel I get aggressive only for attention and sympathy and to control people who do not know me to get what I want. It is not something I want as someone to care for me the way I need to be cared for. I need this help, and it makes me feel so bad about myself. If I am faking my disability, I'm told I would not lose speech, hurt myself, lose the ability to understand what is happening around me, and not able to think or respond. I am told if I am faking my child records, would not support having deficits in self-care, incontinent communication challenges, learning disabilities, repetitive and restricted behaviors, tics and sensory issues, or processing challenges. I lose the ability to speak and think and understand what is happening around me. This is what I am told separates my condition from factious disorder. In this article, you will learn how similar actious disorder, paraphilic infantilism, and autism are. I will show you why it's hard for me to regulate my emotions, take a shower, brush my teeth, clean, feel the urge to use the bathroom, and why using a teddy bear and star globe helps me, so that way you can separate the difference from these conditions. I'm not a baby. I do not want to be a baby. I do not want to be in diapers. I do not want to be cared for. I need the assistance my family used to provide me that allowed me to work and function and socialize normally. I need someone to care for and help me with the things I can do. I am capable of working, going to concerts, cooking, cleaning, showering, changing my diaper, and getting dressed and someone to assist me with these tasks. I'm not a baby for needing someone to co-regulate, change my diapers, bathe me, or cook for me. I'm able to participate in these activities with someone helping me. I do not like it when a nurse or doctor says they have to change my diaper and wash me like Sisters Hospital did. I didn't like it when Strong Memorial Hospital did this. Strong Memorial Hospital allowed me to choose to wash my body before they wash me, but they would still do it for me. I want to be able to do things with help. A normal parent allows a 2-year-old to start to wipe themselves at a diaper change with help. A parent allows a 2-year-old to help clean and pick up things. A parent allows a 4-year-old to fold laundry and put clothes in the washer. A parent gives instructions and assistance to their kids to do these activities of daily living. Autistic people and disabled people oftentimes require this level of assistance. I am no different from other disabled or autistic people. Why is it okay for them to get the care and assistance they need and not me? The purpose of this is to show people that I am not faking and to show the overlap of these conditions. I'm not trying to force my dad to baby me or wipe my butt. I'm not able to help the way I am. I'm not breaking rules. I only want to be like everyone else and to be accepted and wanted. I want to be part of cleaning and doing chores to help my dad. I want to be part of my caregivers and service providers to be part of caring for my needs. I need this help. I have the right to go to concerts, work, have a place to live, make friends, have health care, and more like any other person. I am no different than any other adult who wants to go to a concert. I am no different from any adult who needs or expected to work. I need someone to care for me and assist me with the skills needed to participate and interact with others in a socially acceptable manner. I need someone to care for me and assist me with my activities of daily living at the simplest level. Just don't make me a baby or fake my disability. Just because I don't have OPWDD services or not in a group home don't mean I am not disabled or shouldn't be able to be diagnosed to get OPWDD services. It is discrimination by doctors and OPWDD to exclude me from diagnosis and services they offer other people. I am told it is a deviation of standard medical care by a healthcare provider. This leads me to behavior and emotional suffering. It leads me to head injuries. It leads me to skin infections. It leads me to health issues. It leads me to loss of income and being able to participate in the community and workforce. This is a form of discrimination and deny me the healthcare and behavior healthcare that OPWDD and doctors offer to others and not me. Let's go into how we can identify the difference from refusing to take care of oneself versus unable to take care of self. The behavior challenges that are mistaken for being manipulative and defiant and threatening when it is an actual need for the 24-hour care with diaper changes and meal preparation and other things. People assume competence in my ability to take care of myself, like I learned to not take care of myself or something else is going on. Or maybe I always needed this help and I lost the help after my dad and mom got old and unwell. I'm lucky to not die from this. When professionals assume competence and ignore the adaptive functioning deficits that I was born with, I get upset for asking for help over and over again. Then these people get mad when I get upset, and they use that to say you did not get your way. You did not like what you heard. You're capable of taking your medications and showers and eating. You can feel cold or hungry or thirsty. You choose to not use the toilet. When I make complaints about the person who is abusing their powers of their job duties, they get mad and refuse to help me even more. When I have a strong team of civil rights power to help me, as no one listening to me, and when others tell me it is discrimination to deny me use of my AAC, deny me help going out into the community, and to help me interact with others, and make meaningful relationships in the community, and help me work, and help me with the proper behavior therapies for my diagnosis and medical needs. They are silent and have no choice but to accept my diagnosis and adaptive functioning needs. What is a temper tantrum? Temper tantrum, what it means. A temper tantrum is an intense burst of frustration or overwhelm. It can look like crying or yelling, throwing things, shutting down, or refusing to move, hitting, or kicking, pacing, or repeating movements going nonverbal, or losing access to speech. People of any age can have tantrums or meltdown-type reactions, especially when they're overloaded, misunderstood, or unable to communicate what they need. What is an autism meltdown versus a temper tantrum? An autism meltdown and a temper tantrum can look similar on the outside, but they come from completely different places in the brain and body. The differences matter because they change how you support the person. Core difference. A tantrum is about frustration with a goal. A meltdown is about neurological overload. Clear comparison. Temper tantrum trigger, not getting something, frustration, wanting control. Temper tantrum controls some control. Stops if the person gets what they want. Temper tantrum goal, to get or avoid something. Temper tantrum awareness often watches others' reactions. Temper tantrum ends when the goal is met. Temper tantrum aftermath, quick recovery. Autism meltdown trigger sensory overload, unexpected change, communication breakdown, too many demands. Autism meltdown control, no control. The nervous system is in fight, flight, freeze. Autism meltdown goal, to escape overwhelming input or distress. Autism meltdown awareness, often unaware of surroundings. Autism meltdown ends when the nervous system calms down naturally. Autism meltdown aftermath exhaustion, shut down, withdrawal. What a tantrum usually looks like. Crying, yelling, or arguing, checking if someone is watching, stopping suddenly once they get the desired item, or outcome frustration tied to a specific no or boundary. Tantrums are behavioral and goal-driven. When autism meltdown usually looks like covering ears or eyes, pacing, rocking, humming, or other stimming that ramps up losing speech or ability to communicate, panic-like reactions. Screaming, bolting, hitting, or collapsing continues even if the environment changes or the person gets what they wanted. Meltdowns are neurological, not behavioral. They happen when the brain is overwhelmed by sensory input, unpredictability, or too many demands. Why meltdowns happen? Sensory overload, noise, lights, textures, sudden routine changes, communication barriers, transitions, physical discomfort, hunger, illness, fatigue. What is a want versus like versus need? Clear definitions. Want equals a desire for something. You enjoy it, but you can live without it. Like equals enjoyment or preference. It means something feels good or pleasant, but you're not asking for it or requiring it. Need equals something essential for survival, safety, health, or functioning. Without it, there is harm or serious problem. Like you enjoy it, pleasant, positive, nothing bad happens. It's just a preference. Want you desire it, you'd be happier with it. You may feel disappointed, but you're still okay. Need you require it, your body or safety depends on a harm, danger, or inability to function. Simple examples. Like, I like ice cream. It tastes good. Want, I want ice cream. I desire it right now. Need, I need food. My body cannot function without it. Another way to think about it. Like equals enjoyment, want equals desire, need equals survival or safety requirement. What is the risk of not treating a diaper rash and problems with personal hygiene and proper incontinence management? Untreated diaper rash and poor incontinence hygiene can lead to serious medical risks, especially when the skin is already fragile or when someone cannot independently manage hygiene. The risks are well documented in clinical sources and go far beyond just irritation. Medical risks of not treating diaper rash. Skin breakdown and open wounds. Prolonged exposure to urine and stool disrupts the skin's natural pH and causes inflammation, making the skin vulnerable to breakdown. Fungal infections, candida. Moist, irritated skin is an ideal environment for yeast infections. Bacterial infections, e.g., staph. Broken skin can allow bacteria to enter, leading to painful infections that may require medical treatment. Worsening chronic skin conditions. Conditions like eczema or psoriasis can flare severely when the skin is irritated or not cleaned properly. Risks from poor personal hygiene and improper incontinence management. Incontinence-associated dermatitis, IAD. This is a recognized medical skin injury caused by prolonged contact with urine or feces. It can cause swelling, pain, discoloration, and skin erosion. Increased risk of pressure injuries, bed sores. Damaged. Moist skin is far more likely to develop pressure injuries, especially if mobility is limited. Urinary tract infections, UTIs. Poor hygiene and prolonged exposure to urine and stool increase the risk of UTIs. Sleep disruption and reduce quality of life. Pain, itching, and discomfort interfere with rest and daily functioning. Immobility complications. Severe skin pain can make movement difficult, which further increases pressure injury risk. Why this matters for you. When someone cannot shower, wipe, or change themselves due to disability, these risks are not optional. They are predictable medical consequences. That means proper incontinence care is not a want or a preference. It is a medical need required to prevent infection, skin injury, and hospitalization. If anyone is unable to manage personal hygiene and has improper incontinence management, is it laziness or is it a medical need for assistance with this? It is not laziness when someone is unable to manage personal hygiene or incontinence care. It is a medical need and a disability-related support need. This is one of the most common misunderstandings disabled adults face, and it causes real harm when staff or agencies treat it like a motivation problem instead of functional impairment. Why it is not laziness? Laziness means someone can do something safely and effectively, but chooses not to. Incontinence care and hygiene tasks require bending, reaching, and balance, grip strength, and fine motor control, sensory tolerance, body awareness, executive functioning, the ability to recognize bodily signals, the ability to sequence steps in the right order. If any of these are impaired because of autism, motor planning issues, chronic illness, pain, diabetes, fatigue, or cognitive disability, the person cannot perform the task safely or completely. That is not a choice. Why is a medical need? When someone cannot manage hygiene or incontinence independently, the risks are predictable and medically documented. Skin breakdown, incontinence-associated dermatitis, fungal and bacterial infections, urinary tract infections, pressure injuries, worsening chronic conditions, dehydration or electrolyte imbalance. If avoiding fluids to prevent accidents, hospitalization in severe cases. Because these consequences are medical, the support required to prevent them is also medical. How professionals are supposed to view it. In disability services, healthcare, and long-term care, assistance with hygiene and incontinence is classified as activities of daily living, ADLs, medically necessary personal care, hands-on support for health and safety. ADL support is never considered a want, preference, or behavioral issue. It is a required service when the person cannot perform the task independently. The key point: if someone is physically, cognitively, or neurologically unable to manage hygiene or incontinence, it is a disability-related medical need, not a character flaw. If you want, I can help you phrase this in a way that support coordinators, agencies, or medical providers must take seriously, including language for an ISP, complaint letter, or medical justification. If someone is unable to shop for food to eat, unable to recognize when hunger or full, and unable to properly eat balanced diet, is this lazy or defiance, or want others to do the work, or is a medical need for this help? It is not laziness, not defiance, and not wanting others to do the work. When someone cannot shop for food, cannot recognize hunger/fullness, and cannot maintain a balanced diet without support, that is a medical and disability-related need, not a character issue. This is something professionals are supposed to understand, because each part of what you described is tied to neurological and functional impairments, not motivation. Why this is not laziness or defiance. To call it laziness, a person would need to be fully capable of recognizing hunger, planning meals, shopping independently, budgeting, preparing food, safely, eating regularly, monitoring fullness, maintaining nutrition. If someone cannot do these things because of autism, interoception issues, executive function disability, cognitive disability, sensory barriers, or medical conditions, then they do not have the ability, not the choice. You can't be lazy about something your brain and body cannot do. Why this is a medical need. Each difficulty you listed is recognized in healthcare and disability services as a functional impairment. 1. Unable to recognize hunger or fullness. This is an interoception impairment, common in autism and several neurological conditions. It is medical, not behavioral. 2. Unable to shop for food. Shopping requires planning, sequencing, budgeting, sensory tolerance, mobility, problem-solving, memory. If any of these are impaired, the person cannot complete the task safely. 3. Unable to maintain a balanced diet. This is a health and safety issue. Without support, the risks include Malnutrition, dehydration, blood sugar instability, weight loss, or weight gain, fainting, hospitalization. These are medical consequences, so the support to prevent them is medically necessary. How professionals classify this? In disability and healthcare systems, these tasks fall under activities of daily living, ADLs, instrumental activities of daily living, IDLs, medically necessary nutrition support, health and safety supervision. When someone cannot perform these tasks independently, the required help is not optional and not a preference. It is a required service to prevent harm. If someone has a hard time with auditory processing and visual processing challenges that makes it hard to interpret what is being said and interpret what is happening around them, like identifying dangers and or facial expressions of someone else, or when it is hard for someone to put verbal and non-verbal communication together, that leads to this person misunderstanding social cues, that leads to others being frustrated with the person for getting upset with others due to problems with autism-related social communication and social emotional issues. Is this defiance, rude, nasty, disregard for others, ungrateful, or just part of autism not being supported or cared for? Is this a human need for support for this by a trained caregiver to assist with translating what others are saying and doing to help the autistic adult form meaningful relationships? Or is this not a need for social well-being and mental well-being? What you're describing is not defiance, not rudeness, not nastiness, and not a character flaw. It is a neurological disability, and the support you're talking about is a human need, not a preference. When someone has autism with auditory processing, visual processing, and social communication differences, the brain literally does not receive, organize, or interpret information the same way other people do. That means misunderstandings are predictable, not intentional. What's actually happening? Autistic adults with these profiles often experience auditory processing delays. Words are heard, but the brain needs extra time to decode them. This can make conversations feel fast, confusing, or incomplete. Visual processing challenges. Facial expressions, gestures, and environmental cues may not be recognized or interpreted accurately. Difficulty integrating verbal plus nonverbal signals. Most social communication relies on combining tone, body language, and context. Autism can make this integration extremely hard. Interoception and emotional processing differences. This affects how someone notices their own feelings, understands others' emotions, or reacts to stress. None of these are choices. They are neurological realities. Why misunderstandings happen? When the brain is working overtime to decode speech, facial expressions, tone, and context, it's easy to misread someone's intentions. Think someone is upset when they aren't, miss danger cues, misunderstand rules, or expectations, react emotionally because the information came in too fast or too scrambled. This is not disrespect. It's overload plus miscommunication plus lack of support. Why people get frustrated? People who don't understand autism often assume, you're ignoring me, you're being rude, you're overreacting, you should know better. But they are reacting to the surface behavior, not the underlying disability. What actually is? This is part of autism, especially when the person is not being supported, accommodated, or given communication help. It is a legitimate support need, not a personality problem. Is support for this a real need? Yes. In disability services, this is recognized as social communication support, interpretation / translation support, emotional regulation support, safety support, relationship building support. A trained caregiver helping interpret what others mean, explaining social cues, and helping the autistic adult navigate interactions is considered a valid, essential support for mental health, social well-being, and safety. This is not optional. This is not extra. This is not a luxury.
Hey, YouTuber. So I want to add something verbally at the end of this video while my caregiver is out. I have new caregivers and I have a whole team of civil rights advocates and legal, and including from federal government and federal agencies. overseeing the issues that I'm having and going to assist in forcing me to get the help that I'm in need of to help me function like anybody else is able to. Well, I have that going on. In the meantime, I have caregivers around the clock with me. My caregiver just stepped out for a few minutes for a break, and she should be back in 3 minutes. So I gotta really hurry up. I had a really good night's sleep last night. I didn't even wet through my diaper because I had constant help with making sure I didn't leak through last night, and I have a caregiver who is standing up for me to some of the people who are not doing their jobs. And because of the civil rights team and professionals who are involved in my care, I am. These people are actually listening to me talking about Tyler and Elizabeth. Tyler's my intellectual disability support coordinator. Elizabeth is my service coordinator for the medical needs, and they're finally doing what they have to do that they should have done like 2 years ago to help me. And that is the problem where I'm having. People are finally listening because of my complaints. Plus having APS involved and then having the state involved. Plus, I'm aware that many people have made complaints claiming I'm faking to Pennsylvania and Social Security, and I even sent a letter to Social Security that APS got misinformation from New York State. And guess what? Social Security said to me the other day when I followed up with canceling my benefits. Can't be done. They determined me incompetent due to my disability. So what am I supposed to do here? I guess if Social Security says I have a disability and I can't cancel even with state people of New York State what they did to me, I guess if what other people say to me about me online, I guess it just makes the case that I'm not faking. And I hope that you realize that I'm not going anywhere because I have a right to be on the internet. I have a right to be able to have internet access. I have a right to have parental controls to help me be safe on the internet. I have a right to eat and drink and take my medicines. I have a right to be able to go out in the community and participate in the community and to help me with my basic needs and stuff. And I have a right to have help with my hygiene and toileting needs. And I have a right to be able to work and have behavior therapies that are appropriate for me and my disability and medical needs. And I have a right to be able to have friends, and I have many friends actually. So I'm going to be calling one of my friends in a few minutes actually.
It is a human need for someone whose brain processes the world differently. The key truth. What you described is not defiance. It is not rudeness. It is not ungratefulness. It is not disregard for others. It is autism, and it requires support, not judgment. The key truth. What you described is not defiance. It is not rudeness. It is not ungratefulness. It is not disregard for others. It is autism, and it requires support, not judgment. If you're interested in disability topics, such as treatment, support, accommodations, and rights, Like this video and subscribe for more inclusive content. I will talk to you on my next video.